Hello and welcome to a new session, Hard Work Pays. This is government class where you'll be learning about political culture and socialization of a state. Today's topic is on the definition of government, and the objectives for this lesson are: you should be able to define government, mention the characteristics of government, the functions of government, and the importance of studying government. What is government as an institution of the state? This may be defined as a machinery established by the state to organize the state, manage its affairs, and administer its functions and duties. It is also seen as a machinery through which the will of the state is formulated, expressed, and realized. The need for government came up as a result of people living together, interacting, and working together, as well as forming different associations. This living and working together may bring about conflict, disagreement, crises of different dimensions. Now, the result would be that the rich will exert force to oppress the poor. The fundamental function of any state, therefore, is to come up with a dynamic policy to control people by the administration of justice, so that the weak are protected from the strong and the poor from the wealthy. Therefore, the need to have a body capable of regulating their daily activities arises.
Now, if there is no such agency, there will be what? Anarchy. And this anarchy could reign in the society. So therefore, there is need for people to elect and establish among themselves an agency called government. Do you understand, students? An agency called government with political power and authority to direct all activities in a state. Now, you can agree with me that government as an institution of the state has three organs or structures. The functions of each of them are stipulated accordingly in the Constitution. For example, we have the executive. When we talk about the executive, it's concerned with policy formulation and implementation. We also have the legislature, concerned in lawmaking, and we have the judiciary, which concentrate mainly in the interpretation of the law. Now, these three bodies or organs of government help to maintain what? Stability in a state. Now, they are also referred to as government as an institution of the state. Do you understand? Now, the next we have here is government as a process or art of governing. What is government as a process or art of governing? When we talk about this, we mean government is referred to as an art of governing because it is a body vested with the supreme power of the affairs of a state. Government is vested with the power of maintaining peace and security by putting in place machinery for that purpose. Now, government makes laws and enforces them on the people of that country. It makes policies and implements them. Equally, it interprets laws and punishes the offenders. Most of the policies and actions taken are meant for the general well-being of the society. These actions are meant for our well-being, for you and I, to protect what? Our interests. Now, government should be able to carry the people among in most of the activities embarked upon. Yes, government should learn to what? Carry the people along in most of its activities. People should know, people should understand what the government are meant to do, what they're supposed to do. Now, we also have government as an academic field of study. What is government as an academic field of study? Now, students, when we say government as an academic field of study, it involves the study of political institutions in the state, ideas, values, doctrines about politics, the view of political thinkers on what constitutes the welfare of the people, Now, it is a social science subject that is taught in schools and colleges as well as in higher institutions, where it is popularly known as political science. Now, you can find this in Faculty of Social Sciences in the university. Government is taught as political science in the university. Now, the study of government also embraces international relations, public administration, local government administration, comparative politics, etc. Government as a science studies politics through the use of computers, research, statistics, and analysis of data. There's what we call political social statistics for political scientists. Now, we also have government relating to economics, history, sociology, philosophy, psychology, and so on. Now, government as an academic field of study has the following branches, such as public administration, international relations, political thought theories, political economy, comparative politics. Now, the next thing we're going to discuss about is the attributes or characteristics of government. Now, the first one is lawmaking. That is the first characteristics of government. What are the attributes or characteristics of government? The first characteristic here is law. Now, this law is a guide to the activities, beliefs, and behavior of the citizens. These are laws made by the government and entrenched in the Constitution. It is documented down in the Constitution. Another characteristic of government here is political power. Can we say political power? Yes, political power which the government has is in consonance with the people's will to obey laws and policies made by the state. Do you understand, students? The next we have here is revenue. Revenue is another characteristic of government. Government needs enough revenue for the enormous task facing it. Government needs revenue for its daily operations. We also have workforce. Workforce is another characteristic of government, such as the civil service. They possess adequate personnel for policy making and implementation, interpretation, and also punishment of offenders. We also have welfare services. The provision of some essential services like water, electricity, housing, etc. should be made to improve people's well-being. This is essential for any responsible government. That is, you can see in some communities there are what's it called, pipe-borne water, electricity, and some other communities are lacking these welfare or social services, which is provided by the government. Another characteristic of government is periodic change. Government is prone to change. No government is permanent, especially one that is based on people's participation. Now we have what we call elective government. That is, it has to do with what? The periodic change of government. Hence, the adoption of periodic elections in some systems could be either 5 or 4 years to change the government, but in Nigeria it is 4 years. I believe you now understand the characteristics of government. The next thing we're going to look at is the functions of government. What are the functions of government? The first function here is lawmaking. Government is responsible for making laws in a country. Now, this is done by who? By the legislature. We also have what? Provision of social amenities. Amenities like electricity, portable water, health center, etc. are provided by the government. These are necessities for human existence. We also have maintenance of law and order. Now, the maintenance of law and order is the responsibility of government. This function is usually performed by government agencies like the police. Another function of government here is defense of the country. Government is responsible for defending the country from any external aggression or external attack. That is why we say a state must be what? A state must be sovereign. It must be sovereign and must be able to have that supreme legal authority over its affairs without any form of external influence. We also have protection of lives and property. Now, it is the responsibility of government to protect lives and property of its citizens. For example, any person can seek the police protection if there is the need for it. We also have provision of employment. Unemployment is one big problem facing the country today. So it is the responsibility of government to provide adequate employment opportunities for the masses. Now, job is also provided for the citizens, but this goes a long way in improving the welfare of the people. So there is need for adequate provision of employment opportunities. Do you understand, students? Now let's look at the importance of studying government. Now, what are the importance of studying government? The first thing we have is types of system. Now, government enables you to understand the types of system that operate in a country or in the world. Another importance of government is to widen people's knowledge. Government helps to widen your scope in this field. It helps you to understand about administration and other institutions involved in governance. Okay. Now, we also have political education. Yes. Now, the study of government helps to educate people of a country on the political life or affairs of the country. They get to understand about politics, about other political activities in the states. Now, we also have opportunity for leadership. The study of government is important because it helps to provide you the opportunity for leadership. Okay. Now, it helps in conflict resolution. Through government, an opportunity is provided for people to know how conflict originated and how it is resolved. And finally, another importance of studying government is the promotion of the spirit of nationalism and patriotism. Now, when we talk about nationalism, it is a strong emotional awareness, feeling individual possess of belonging to a nation or a state. Now, these are inculcated into the lives of the people. They have this strong belief, this patriotic feeling about their state. Okay. It has to do with absolute commitment, love, loyalty, and oneness for one state. And now we have come to the end of this lesson. I believe it's an interesting one. Remember to write down your questions and I will definitely respond to it, okay? See you next time and bye.